Hello and welcome to Reality Recapped, where I recap all of the trashiest reality shows. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Heather. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, and it's through that lens that I watch these shows and make my comments. Of course, I have not met with any of the people on this show, so everything that I state is simply an opinion. My channel is a little bit of education and a whole lot of snark. This video will recap Season 18, Episode 1, There's No Such Thing as a Free Lunch. I have no idea what the producers mean by this title. Are they talking about Robyn? Because she's definitely gotten a free lunch, plus nannies, and a McMansion. The producers are worried we may have forgotten what happened last season. We haven't, but they begin with a recap. First with Christine. She says Kody thinks Robyn is more important than anybody else, and he favors her, and that's why the family is the way that the family is. We cut to Kody and Meri having a very intense conversation in the car. Kody says, "You want to be with me? Well, you're not courting me to be in that relationship." Meri responds, "Well, I didn't know I was supposed to be courting you." And then in his confessional, Kody reminds us why we all despise him by contradicting everything that he said to Meri. I'm not suggesting that Meri chased me. In fact, that would be off-putting. Like, ugh, I wouldn't want that. Then Kody says Meri isn't making any effort. It's almost like Kody doesn't mean anything he says. Then we cut to Janelle and Kody at a restaurant. Kody says, "I have someone who is fundamentally loyal to me, and she sees me as the head of the household. You and I have not been operating as a married couple for many years, Janelle, and I'm saying to you, you get that if you're loyal to me." In her confessional, Janelle says she cannot believe what he's saying, and she is spitting mad. They play a clip of the family saying goodbye to Christine. Robyn says what's happening is just devastating. Now we cut to the meeting that they had outside of Robyn's house because no one is allowed inside Robyn's house. Kody is yelling at Janelle. "I'm sorry, I'm angry. I just survived a really, really dark place, Janelle. And you don't care, though. You don't care. Would you ever have any empathy for me?" Kody accusing other people of not having empathy. Pretty ironic. Janelle says, "Okay," and she stands up and walks away. Kody yells, "You're making a huge mistake walking away right now." Robyn begs Janelle to just come sit back down and keep talking. Yeah, keep getting yelled at, Janelle. Robyn is such a good flying monkey. In a matter of minutes, that recap reminds me exactly why I detest Kody so much. He is a vile, manipulative human being. These are the new shots for the intro. I love the pictures. The shift in the music from cheery to dramatic feels appropriate, but I'm really bummed they didn't create any taglines. I would love to hear new taglines. Christine's could be, "I never knew life didn't have to be complicated, and now I'm opening up a whole new world of happiness and joy." Robyn's would be, "I can't help if I'm Kody's favorite. I just know how to keep my customers happy." Kody looks really happy and kind of proud of himself in this picture. Have you not been watching any of these episodes, Kody? How do you project such confidence when you are such a horrible person? And in the final image, we see one of the rings has fallen. I usually don't like spoilers, but honestly, Kody's cruelty towards his wives and his abuse are hard to watch. I don't know that I could stomach watching this show if I didn't already know Janelle and Meri had left the marriage. My patience in witnessing this mistreatment is wearing very thin. Kody's truck travels down to Coyote Pass. He's come out to help Janelle move her RV to winter storage. Kody says the state of the family is strained. I mean, it almost feels like a civil war. Kody is the ultimate drama queen. Kody recaps what's been happening. Christine moved me out of her house a year ago, and a few months ago, she told me that we were divorced, and she left. Meri and I have infrequent interactions. We haven't functioned as a married couple for 7 or 8 years. 7 or 8 years. Jeez. Things with Janelle are pretty strained. I just can't figure it out because I'm so upset. The holidays are coming up, and I have no idea how we're going to spend them. The family isn't talking. Something I noticed that I want to point out is the way he talks about the events in his life. He's telling us these events as if he's a passive participant. For example, Christine moved me out of her house, but he never mentions the antecedent. He doesn't mention Christine wanting to work on the marriage, her being very vocal about not being happy and wanting to work on things. He just told her that they would no longer have an intimate marriage. That is why she moved him out. But he frames it as if Christine has just decided. But there is so much more to it than just that. Kody didn't meet her anywhere in the middle. So her moving you out and getting divorced is a reasonable response to a loveless marriage. So he sets these things in motion and then sits back and says, these things are happening to me. No, these are the consequences of the choices that you made. You are not the victim here. You are the one creating this dynamic. Janelle says when they first moved to Flagstaff, they bought the land with the dream they would build on it. And Janelle is holding out on that dream. Robyn ended up buying a house, but Janelle wants to hold out and build, so she's decided to rent an apartment in downtown Flagstaff. She feels a little sad about having to move into the apartment like she failed. Well, you are being sabotaged by your husband, so it's pretty hard to get things done when he's systematically creating obstacles where there are none as a way of punishing you for not being quote-unquote loyal. Kody says they fully planned on building on Coyote Pass, but they all had rentals, and then Robyn's house was sold out right from under her. So, she had to buy a house. Yes, you guys, she had to buy an almost $1 million McMansion. Robyn says she did not want to buy a house. All she wanted was to get out on that property. Robyn has a real knack for misremembering things, but I remember these episodes, and in this specific instance, I agree with Robyn. She didn't really want to buy a house. So I guess her stealth capabilities of manipulating Kody has some limitations. Janelle says they've been struggling in their relationship during COVID, but it wasn't until the quarantine when things got really bad. Kody felt her boys weren't following his rules. He didn't trust them, and he thought they were going to contaminate us all. Garrison felt like Janelle was being neglected, so he called Robyn and said, hey, can we have our dad back? Because he hasn't been around for a very long time. Kody thinks Robyn has been severely wronged by this, and Janelle's children need to apologize to her. Now we cut to Robyn, who tells us she never wanted or needed an apology from those boys. She just wants everything to be okay. If that's true, did you call them and tell them, hey, we're good, I don't need an apology. I just want to make sure you guys know you're invited to Christmas. We'd all love to see you. Did you try that maybe? And this is how we know who Robyn really is. Her behavior doesn't match her words. If she meant any of these things she's saying to the camera in her confessional, there would be behavior which would be in tandem. Covert manipulation can be really difficult to detect. But one way to always figure it out is to pay attention to whether someone's words match their behavior. Janelle says since Robyn has said she doesn't need an apology, Kody's backed off a little bit, but now he says he just has to talk to the boys and have a conversation about what happened. But of course, Kody isn't contacting his children to arrange a conversation so that they can all spend Christmas together. Janelle says she's seen no movement from Kody toward a reconciliation. We cut back to last season on Robyn's porch. Kody asked Janelle where she's spending Christmas. She says here. I'm going to be here. My kids have rented an Airbnb because they're not welcome here, right? And Kody's like, that's not what I said. Please don't communicate to my kids because you and I have a hard time communicating and we don't get it right. So don't communicate to my kids for me. How about this, Kody? How about you call your kids yourself? He's not saying he tried to contact them and they just didn't reply. So What is she supposed to do? They have to figure out Christmas, and if you're not contacting them and they think they have to apologize to spend Christmas together, are you thinking that they would magically know that that's changed? Kody tells us how hard this divorce has been on him.
But I am still sore. I'm tender emotionally from a divorce. And this would be the time that I would wish that my wife would look me in the eyes and say, I support you. Sure, I've been an ogre, but I love you and I support you and I understand what you're going through. She's not doing any of that. She's literally telling me she doesn't like me. She prefers other things. She even prefers my ex-wife.
Oh, we all prefer your ex-wife. Kody is able to admit he's been an ogre, but he's expecting blind loyalty to him. It doesn't matter how horribly he behaves, he thinks Janelle should always be still on his side. When Janelle isn't on his side, Kody will punish her, and one major way he is doing that is by blocking her build on Coyote Pass. Kody lacks the awareness that everybody in the family is hurting, not just him, but he wants special consideration and treatment over others. Janelle being friends with Christine is a real burn for Kody in his eyes. It's a demonstration of siding with his ex-wife. Janelle says Christine, along with Isabel and Truly, are coming down after Christmas, so they've extended the stay in the Airbnb so they can visit with the whole family.
Oh man, this is exactly what I was afraid of with Christine leaving.
What, that you could get to see your kids around Christmas?
Kody, it just was working out that we had a vacation rental, so we extended it so Truly and Isabel can see you.
But you're talking about everybody going to some neutral zone? This is my house.
This is a very classic tactic people with narcissism use. They are constantly aware of power and how that power can be wielded. So if they meet at Kody's house, he is set up to create hoops for other people to jump through so that they can be there. But if it's on neutral zone, he doesn't have the same leverage for demands. Notice what Kody isn't mentioning is how much he wants to spend Christmas with his kids or how excited he is to see some of his kids who've been away and he hasn't seen for a while. He is more focused on being on home turf and retaining power. We cut to Christine, who looks radiant.
Welcome to my house in Utah. I'm really so excited. So excited.
We are excited for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, Christine says the divorce has been a little more difficult than she expected. It's the end of a saga. It's the end of a book. And it's been more unsettling than she thought it would be. Leaving a narcissist, when they feel like they have some sort of injury happening to them, they will make the divorce as contentious as possible without any sort of awareness that they are just making things harder on themselves. But they're so injured that it's like they need to blow up everything instead of just saying, hey, it's just not working between us anymore, and creating a situation that would be really easy for the kids. He is blowing everything up. Kody complains Janelle is doing stuff with Christine, but not doing stuff with the rest of us, and not even with me. And he doesn't even know what to make of this. You've been ignoring her during COVID. But again, Kody doesn't mention his part in the alienation that's happening with Janelle. If I was Janelle, I'd run off with Christine too. Robyn says it's been tense in the family across the board. It's been tense for a couple of different reasons. You know, Christine left, she divorced Kody. There's just a lot of tension, tension going on. And now we don't even know if we're getting together for Christmas. Now they're talking about having Christmas somewhere else. And it's really stressing Robyn out, you guys. May I remind you, they planned to have Christmas somewhere else because they were told they had to apologize to be able to come over. And they're not going to apologize for something they don't believe was wrong. Robyn, like Kody, also points to these events as if these things are happening to her, rather as a response to her behavior and Kody's actions, which created the split. She is very focused on this being very hard on her, and it's painful to her. I wonder if Robyn and Kody ever fight about who is suffering the most in this situation. And again, if you want to spend Christmas with them, do you not know how to work a phone? Janelle says the RV was more of a strain on their relationship than Janelle expected. I think Janelle was also hoping to inspire the rest of the family to break ground on the property. She thought the RV would be just a little adventure, but when it became a little difficult, Kody became disillusioned quickly. It was very easy for Kody to blame her. Janelle says as soon as the land is paid off, I can build on this. Again, the only reason Kody says they have to wait to build is because he wants to redraw the lot lines, and in order to do that, everything has to be paid off first. When Janelle showed where she was building her house, it was within her lot boundaries, and they will still be within her lot boundaries if they were redrawn the way that Kody wants them. I wish the producers would push back on this BS. This argument is just a ruse, a way for Kody to block what Janelle wants to punish her for his perceived lack of loyalty. Janelle then brings up the fact that they owe money on the land, that the owner carried the deed, and if they default, the owner would have the right to take back the property. And now I'm wondering if Janelle is worried Kody is going to intentionally default on the property. Are they behind on payments? Janelle says they have 1 more year to pay off the property, which makes me realize what I think they're saying without saying it is that there is some sort of balloon payment in their purchase agreement. And I'm assuming they're probably going to have to come up with thousands of dollars in the next year to pay off the property. I could totally see Kody signing something with a balloon payment attached to it. Oh my goodness.
It's going great. Just keep going. Oh,
you
sorry.
scared me.
Keep going.
You scared me. Sorry, I heard your voice.
It'll be more of a yell than that if it's not going good.
You should be screaming your head off, sir, because nothing in your life is going good. Kody and Janelle load up the RV and they take it to winter storage. Christine tells us she's back in Flagstaff to visit with family. She comes over to Janelle's new apartment to help her assemble a bookshelf. Christine and Janelle both say they still consider one another their sister wife. Christine asks Janelle if she likes her apartment better than the fifth wheel. Janelle says yes, the apartment is much simpler than boondocking in the RV. Janelle said she thought they would be much further along in the building process than they are. Despite having a horrible summer, she at least now has a plan. She at least knows what her house is going to look like. And hey, she has a driveway installed. Christine asks, yeah, what's been going on with that? Janelle says, I have the plans, and she shows Christine the architectural drawings. Christine says she's excited for Janelle and asks, when do you think you're going to break ground? Janelle says in the spring. And these tiny casitas, they only take 6 to 8 months to build. Christine says if Janelle wants to build, she thinks they should build. But she knows that they haven't paid off the property. We cut to Kody, who says, yeah, we're not going to be able to break ground in the spring. Kody says to come up with the money to pay off Coyote Pass is very difficult. To come up with a down payment for a house? Not hard. Janelle is refusing to buy a house. Janelle says the biggest delay in building is this continual argument that there isn't enough money to pay off Coyote Pass. Kody keeps saying they don't have the money, and Janelle says they do have the money. We are in the same situation we were in when we gave the money to Christine to buy her house, and the same situation we were in when we gave Robyn money for her house. And now I'm like, where's my turn? It seems like nobody is looking out for me. It's not a 5-alarm fire. Christine asks about the holidays. Janelle says Kody is still feeling like the boys need to have a conversation with him. So we're separate. Christine looks surprised, so she asks, so you're not going to go to Robyn's? And Janelle says no. Kody says the only reason they're in this place with the boys is because he wants to clear the air before Christmas. If something political comes up or something about COVID or my own experiences with it, and we end up devolving into an angry conversation that's a stupidity I am not going to bring into my house for the holidays. Or you could just make a plan ahead of time to not talk about topics that you know are going to create a problem. A lot of families do that. But what I think Kody wants when he talks about his experience with COVID is a lot of empathy from his family members, and they're not really giving it to him. And we'll see that later on with Christine. I think everyone's kind of sick of Kody and his overdramatics, and that really sets him off. Christine says she would always pick her kids over Kody, and Janelle agrees. What, are me and Savannah going to go over to Robyn's house and hang out with Robyn's kids and Kody and Meri? Christine asked Janelle if her leaving Kody is causing Janelle any problems. She said Kody told her that her leaving is breaking up the family, and Savannah looks shocked when she hears this. Janelle says, "No, I don't think so. Cody's angry. He's just really angry."
Kody told me I was breaking up the family. Like it's my fault that the family is breaking up. Dude, if my relationship with my sister wives is up to me, and it's my fault that I have a bad relationship with my sister wives, why isn't it your fault if you have a bad relationship with your children?
It is his fault, Christine. He knows it. He's just trying to blame everybody else. He could not have any responsibility for anything he's ever done. Janelle says she worries whether they'll be able to turn this around, and Christine seems surprised by that. Janelle says Kody has told her that he's tired of doing the work of like holding the family together. And she says, as a father of a plural family, that's kind of your responsibility. Now we cut to Kody, who says when a wife like Janelle undermines his rules, she undermines his ability to lead in the family. I could be a great leader in the family, and I should be, in despite of their undermining. But I don't have the exposure to the children the way the mothers do in this family. So having them support me would be the thing to do. Unfortunately for Kody, we all remember the mothers begging Kody to come around and see the kids. He doesn't mention that he was the one who stopped coming around, who couldn't be bothered to take care of his children, and somehow his absence, his decision to not come around is something the mothers created. He really is insufferable.
I mean, look, Kody and I have been through some tough spots and we've always come out of them. But I can't really be in a full relationship with him if he's going to be estranged from my children. It just seems really wrong. Part of my relationship with Kody has been the fact that he was such an engaged father. He was such a good dad. And now he doesn't want to be that anymore, so I don't even know who that guy is. Who is that guy?
Now we cut to Robyn's house, where Meri has just arrived. She knocks on the door. She and Robyn don't hug or seem excited to see one another. Meri remarks how cold it is outside. Robyn reminds Meri that Kody bought her some jackets for Christmas. Meri says she didn't realize how cold it would be. And oh yes, Robyn still isn't letting people into her house. Robyn goes and grabs Cody's cheesy plastic-looking bomber jacket. Meri jokes, "Ooh, it smells like him." Meri says, "Oh, it's like I'm getting a hug from Kody." Robyn laughs and tells Meri she'll hug her for Kody, and then she hugs her. This scene is so cringe. I've noticed Meri jokes and laughs about really painful things. I think it's a defense mechanism for her, but it really drives me crazy. I want to tell her she doesn't need to make light of how neglected she's been, but perhaps she knows she can't bring up the issue in a serious way. Neither one of them, Kody nor Robyn, would hear what she had to say. So perhaps she just jokes about it because at least then she can say it out loud in a non-threatening way that she is being neglected. I really hate, though, that she's laughing and joking about her own pain. You don't have to make light of pain to ease other people's discomfort. Meri says she sees Kody when she comes over to Robyn's house, and that's kind of the extent of their relationship. She says she's heard him refer to her as friends, and then she leans in close and says, "But I think actual friends talk to one another more than we talk to one another."
There was a time when he would give me his coat to wear. He would be all chivalrous when it was cold.
Meri seems understandably sad here, and she's kind of briefly dancing around the emotion that's there. You can kind of sense that there's a level of sadness when she's saying this, but she quickly reverts back into joking around. But now Robyn is being chivalrous for Kody to me. And Robyn acting as a husband by proxy is pretty disturbing to me. I think Meri has suffered much more emotional abuse from Kody and Robyn than the other wives have. I know she has now left the relationship, and I hope she is working on unpacking the way she was manipulated all this time with a therapist. Meri is a challenging person to like, but no one deserves the way Robyn and Kody use her as a pawn while treating her as insignificant. And I'm going to go into kind of the manipulations that Robyn does, because I think when you watch this, you could miss it. But I'm going to highlight it. Robyn says she invited Meri over to talk about the holidays. Meri's the only one who seems interested in even spending them together anymore.
I mean, are you going to be around or?
Yes.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Robyn cannot even ask Meri to come to Thanksgiving in a very welcoming way. Like, Meri clearly feels so rejected. Like, she's like, is it okay if I'm around? And then she's laughing, and that just drives me crazy. Oh my gosh. You're being treated horribly. Stop laughing about it. It's not funny. It's horrible. It's painful. Stop minimizing what they're doing to you. Robyn tells us she's really struggling with what's going on right now. Of course you are, Robyn, because everything is about you. Robyn says she's struggling with not just Christine leaving, but the boys and Kody and Janelle, everyone. She says, who are you people? I don't get it. Robyn says that she is grateful Meri is not giving up on their family. And she goes on to say, it's ironic because she wants to figure it out and work it out, but yet Kody and her are where they are, where they're at. Meri talks about last Thanksgiving and how weird it was. Usually our holidays are big and loud and fun. And last year, it wasn't that. Robyn wanted to make the turkey, which is something I normally do. So I brought over a Rice Krispie turkey with candy coming out of it. Meri asks if Robyn's going to make the turkey again this year. And Robyn tells her, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Meri said, Kody really did like your turkey.
Kody used to like my turkey until he had Robyn's, and I guess hers is that much. That just sounds. Mine is sweet, hers is savory. He could like it both if he wanted. He did sign up for liking everybody's turkeys. Just stop.
Again, we see Meri laughing about something that is incredibly painful. I think Meri has a very hard time acknowledging her tough feelings, and it makes me sad because the disconnection from how hurt I think she actually is means even Meri isn't looking out for Meri. It's almost like she's turning her back on her own pain, and by laughing about it, she's minimizing her valid feelings. Our emotions are here to help us. They can alert us to unfair treatment, but if we stuff them, we lose an adaptation that's meant and is there to keep us safe. Robyn tells Meri she's having a really hard time. She's trying to not get apathetic and depressed by what she's seen other polygamous families go through when divorce happens. She says it's the possibility it's the end of their world, and it's completely hopeless. She's been trying to not get blue or cry a lot. She just needs to look at it from another perspective, she says, so that she doesn't get so dark and so sad about it. What's happening is a deviation from that big picture she had in her mind and what she saw for all of them.
I'm struggling with depression over it. I feel like we've failed.
Oh, she was so close. Did you see it? For a second there, it looked like she was going to actually get herself to cry. She was so close. I'm going to play it again. God, that is so funny. I love the unintended humor that's in the show because that is hilarious. This woman trying to cry for 18 seasons now and totally not able to do it. Robyn never would have made it as an actress. I think Sister Wives was a really smart career choice. COVID is really making her wonder if what she saw in the family was ever real. She says she's not trying to be insulting, but she's wondering if what she saw was real because of what's happened the last year and a half. Meri says it was definitely amplified during COVID. Robyn asks, the tension that was already there, was it there, Meri? I want to sit down and go, were there things that I was missing? Were there things that were there when I first came into the family that I didn't quite realize that were like there under everything? The whole thing with Kody and Christine has just floored me. I know there were issues and stuff like that, but every marriage has issues. Was there stuff I didn't know about? And I think there's a lot in Meri's face here. And just as this conversation is getting interesting and we get an idea of this new narrative that Robyn's going to try to spin, we cut to Salsa Brava. Dang it. Christine tells us she asked Kody to meet for lunch because she wanted to talk to him about Truly, how she's been and what's been going on and what's going to happen for the holidays. She says she would really like an amicable divorce. I hate to say this, but are you new here? Do you not know who you married? It is going to be a very hard time with someone like Kody. His ego is totally blasted to smithereens, and he is going to make everyone around him as miserable as possible. Kody says he doesn't know how he feels about meeting Christine for lunch. He's not in a great place, he tells us. Christine tells us her strategy is to keep things lighthearted because she doesn't know what's going to happen in the next 5 minutes. In his confessional, Kody tells us seeing Christine for the first time in a few months is a little uncomfortable. He says he feels sort of betrayed after all that he has done for the marriage and for her to sort of bad talk him to the kids. I mean, he did tell us he sacrificed to love her, which, you know, we all see Christine. We see how horrible she is and how horrible it'd be to be married to her. Obviously, sarcasm. Kody, you're an idiot. And you did not work hard at your marriage. Not one of them. Well, maybe one of them. Not 3 of them. I'm going to let Kody talk for himself now.
I kind of feel like in my heart,
In your heart? Sir, we know you don't have a heart.
I just never want to see her again. And I want to spend some time hating her.
This is what we would call an inside the head thought. And if you are mature and you have 6 children with somebody, you don't share your inside thoughts with the nation. Kody says, so you want to talk business? And Christine's like, no, it's family stuff, not business. Kody is really off center here. Is meeting at a neutral place and not Robyn's backyard throwing you, little guy? Christine tells Kody she's thinking of coming to Flagstaff for a few days after Christmas. Kody asks if they can test in Utah. Christine tells us she forgot how Kody is about COVID. Don't worry, Christine. He will continually remind us. Kody tells Christine, you travel here, you take the test. If I can have them come over, stay close so we can have them solid and then meet with everybody else after. Christine agrees to follow what he's wanting, and she is surprised that he's still so freaked out about COVID because he's already gotten it. He says that Ariella hasn't gotten it yet, so he wants to protect her. Christine also says that she is going to go to the rental with Janelle and that she isn't going to spend any time at Robyn's house. Robyn says when Janelle told them that she and her kids were going to do Christmas separately, it broke her heart. It broke your heart, so you called up Kody's boys and told them that they didn't have to apologize and then they could come over for Christmas? Oh, it didn't break your heart that bad. Gotcha. Kody asks if Gwendolyn will be there for Christmas. Christine says she won't. And then Kody mentions he was sick during her birthday. He was laid up with COVID. It sounds like he talked to her, but I wonder if he forgot Gwen's birthday like he forgot Gabe's birthday. Did he also call Gwen to complain about his COVID symptoms? Christine laughs. She said, you were really out of it. Kody asks, was she thinking that was funny too? I was out of my mind. Christine says sorry and tries to stifle a laugh. Kody says, when I was talking about getting anxiety, Christine, and depression, Christine's like, I know, and I'm sorry to laugh a little bit, but Gwendolyn was like, Kody interrupts her, that's okay, you're mean that way, and he winks at her. Christine says, I was married to him for 27 years, and every time that guy got sick, it was like the whole world revolved around him getting sick. Kody said COVID was overwhelming for him, not being able to sleep and not being able to breathe. Christine apologizes for laughing and saying it's her description of him is what was funny, not him having COVID. What are you going to do? Christine laughs. You can either laugh about things or cry about things. And if you can't look back with a sense of humor, what a waste. I was in the fetal position. Sorry. I was was in the fetal position on the floor sobbing. No, you weren't. Liar. What I was originally going to say in this part is that it's not the best that Christine is laughing about Kody and him having COVID, because obviously COVID's very serious and some people didn't make it through. So I don't want anyone to walk away from this thinking like I'm laughing about the fact that he has COVID. I'm not. I was laughing about the fact that he's so dramatic. So that's the part that I want to make clear here. And I was going to say, like, this isn't great that Christine is kind of chuckling about it. But like me just retelling what Kody's saying, I can't stop laughing because it just feels so over the top and dramatic. Again, it's not about COVID. It's about him being overly dramatic about absolutely everything. In his confessional, Kody says, "Oh, I'm not laughing. I haven't been laughing with her leaving. I've never been laughing about this thing. She asked me to stop sleeping at her place. Wasn't laughing then. She moved my stuff into the garage. Wasn't laughing then. She left with Truly. Wasn't laughing then. And she left early. I wasn't laughing about this. I've never been laughing about this."
My reactions are just terrible today. I'm so sorry. I'm not married to him anymore. It's so freaking awesome.
We can only imagine how liberated she feels now, getting away from a partner who is actively devaluing you and making your life way more complicated than it needs to be. Has to be so exhausting. I am so happy for her, and I bet Kody, seeing how much happier she is now that she's left, is a very tough pill for him to swallow. Now we're going to cut back to Meri and Robyn, still in Robyn's backyard. Robyn says, "So I want to sit down and figure out when I came into this family, were there things I was missing?" In her confessional, Meri says, "When Robyn came into the family, we were not a perfect family, but we were a good family. I think people are looking back and tearing things apart. But if she saw that it was perfect, either we are all really good actors or she had blinders on. We were not perfect, but we were good." To Robyn, Meri says, I don't know what their relationship was, but it's not what I would have expected from Christine." And then in her confessional, Meri says, "It's not what I would have expected from Kody either." It's telling that Meri knows that she can criticize Christine, but she better not criticize Kody in front of Robyn. Robyn, in her confessional, says, "Everything that I've seen going on with Kody and Christine, and then everything that happened during COVID, I'm like questioning my reality. I'm starting to wonder if I didn't really know what was happening back then. I'm just like looking for answers because I don't understand this. I know some people would be like, well, what does it matter? It matters to me. When I got divorced, it was a tough situation, and my most important thing was my kids and feeling like there was a safe family to be a part of. And when I met Kody's family, I saw them operating as one family. I saw all these different things going on in the family that seemed very functional. Like I thought this was a safe place for my kids to be." I did not see this new narrative coming. I was wondering how Robyn would kind of paint the divorce, but I am blown away by what she's saying. On one hand, it's pretty normal to unpack a relationship once it ends and kind of go back through. But what Robyn is hinting at is that she was tricked.
Like, I thought this was a safe place for my kids to be.
She is acting as if the family conspired to be happy and shiny and tricked her into believing they were more solid than they were. I wonder if what we are seeing is the beginning of a new story Robyn is weaving about how she was tricked into joining a family, and soon, why possibly she may have to leave. My interest is very piqued to see if this new narrative kind of develops more this season, because what a great excuse to divorce somebody. He tricked me. He isn't who I thought he was. She's been with him for 12 years. I just recapped the first season and part of the second season, and there are problems from the get-go, and we know about them because they filmed a television show. I guarantee you what we saw was probably a rosier version than what was actually going on. So for her to twist what actually happened was not expected, and it actually makes me more interested in watching this season. The other thing that she brought up, remember in the tell-all, season 17, she brought up this whole thing about how Christine didn't want Kody and Meri to get back together. Kody decided he wanted to get back together with Meri, and he went and told Christine, and Christine had a fit. And apparently that's why he didn't get back together with Meri. We haven't heard anything about that lately, have we? It'll be interesting to see if that comes back up too. Obviously, I don't believe anything Robyn is saying. I think she's going on an attack. I think she is trying to create a story where she is not the problem, where clearly she must have been tricked because this whole family has fallen apart after she joined it. And it has nothing to do with her, right? It's this whole family. And so what it is that they were just pretending that they were something that they aren't, because you couldn't ruin a really solid family, right? And it couldn't be that she came into the family. That can't be the reason why everything fell apart. So this is fascinating. Now we're going to cut back to Kody, who is the most unreliable narrator of all time. Him and Robyn are probably pretty tied for that. And Kody says, the family was pretty dysfunctional for the first 20 years. But what, not the last 5 or 7? Kody should really watch these episodes if he thinks things have gotten less dysfunctional in time. Kody says we were trying really hard to be functional, and because we were trying so hard, we believed we were functional, but we weren't. Okay then, my brain hurts. Janelle says, once Robyn entered the family, there was a shakeup, and she doesn't know if things ever were settled again. Christine says, we became very separate, and the family tradition stopped. And I don't know. I'm not accusing Robyn of stopping the family traditions. I don't know what happened. I just know that us getting together again stopped happening. Now we go back to Robyn speaking to Meri. Are you having a hard time with the divorce? Because you don't say much. I think Meri is a little more reserved than we have seen her with Robyn. I could be reading this wrong, but notice that Robyn is having to extract Meri's opinions from her. Meri's not openly divulging what she's thinking. So I wonder if Meri has become a little suspicious of Robyn finally. About dang time, Meri. Welcome. Welcome to what you should have been doing years ago. Meri says she feels really rejected. Like, I know what our relationship used to be, and it was fun, and we used to laugh a lot, so I don't know. And the last time we met, she said she didn't want to have a relationship or work through things with you guys. So some of the things that I've said is I'm angry and I feel betrayed, but I understand that those are secondary emotions, and I'm just really hurt. I feel like it's been since at least Vegas where Christine and Meri would joke around and laugh. It seemed like Meri was off doing her own thing and I think Meri felt really rejected by the family, so she stepped back farther from them, and that never really got repaired. So I don't think that Meri and Christine were ever really close or ever had a ton of fun together. It seems like they had moments of laughter, but I don't ever remember them being like good friends. And the whole reason why Meri wanted to bring Robyn in, one of the things that she said is, I don't have a close relationship with my sister wives, and I would like to have that. And she was hoping Robyn would be like her best buddy, and that didn't work out either. So I'm a little bit confused by Meri's memory here. Now we cut to Robyn, who says, I always thought that someday there would be that closeness that I wanted. You know, someday we would all figure it out. You know how we hear, like the older ladies of our church, you know, in our culture, and they talk about that. I mean, I know that she doesn't believe in this anymore, but I would choose our family even if I didn't have the belief anymore. And I don't know, I don't want to judge her or something like that. But I kept having this thought that someday we would figure this out. We can have that closeness. And then when she talked about leaving, oh man, that shattered me. You don't get along with somebody for 12 years. You don't have a friendship for 12 years. And you think, just give it a few more. Like, first off, I don't think she really means this. I don't think she really thought they were ever going to become best friends. I don't think she wants to become best friends. And the reason why I think that is because she made choices like going on a very long honeymoon, like having nannies, like never working, like having funds for herself the other women worked for that she inherited, not working, not doing a dang thing, not even taking care of her kids. So none of this really washes. I wonder, does she think that we're stupid? She must. She has to. Meri says, we all believe in God. If we're not involved in our church anymore, how does that affect it? Even if we don't believe in church or authority or even the principle of plural marriage, even if we got to that point, like we're still a family. And now we go to Robyn and she says, this thing, I thought we could figure it out. This end goal, it just got taken away. And now Meri in her confessional says, people tell me all the time, you're only staying there because you're forced to, and you don't think you can get into heaven without it. And I say, bull. You don't know me. When I married Kody, I made a commitment to him, and I loved him, and I still love him, and I still honor that commitment. And when we decide we wanted to have a plural family, I didn't make that decision because I thought it was the only way I could get into heaven. I made that decision because I loved Kody and I wanted to spend my eternity with him. And now we go to Robyn, who says to Meri, I know we're all dealing with it in different ways, and I know Kody is dealing with it in his own way, and we need to acknowledge that. And I'm not telling anybody what to do or anything, but he's really going through some weird stuff in his head trying to figure this out. And Meri says, I probably talk to him about once every other week. And even I can see that. Robyn continues, and that's kind of why I'm saying we need to carry the torch a little bit, because he's been carrying it for a long time and he's tired.
Yeah, he's so discouraged. And I feel like Janelle and Meri and I should be giving our teammate a break. You guys, if somebody doesn't pick up that torch, then it's gonna go out.
Let me get this straight. Robyn wants Meri, who has been nothing but ignored and discarded by both Kody and Robyn, to step up and support him? No one was there to support Meri when her mom died. Let me say that again. No one was there when Meri's mom died. Meri owes you guys less than nothing. I am incensed at how incredibly cruel this whole thing is. Meri says to Robyn, I'm open with supporting Kody and having conversations, but I worry that he's expecting 100% perfection in order to move forward. And in her confessional, Meri says, I completely understand and respect what Robyn's talking about, but because Kody and my relationship is essentially non-existent, it's not a strong relationship. I don't think he would recognize any support that I was giving to the family or to him. Robyn says she feels like Kody is so optimistic, and he has a tendency to be like, I've watched him be like, sort of change his tune with someone. Like he'll be mad at someone one day, and then he changes his tune about what he thinks and what is going on, just based on like a good day or a good couple of days or a good week, or, if he's connecting or whatever it is. So I think if we're diligently trying to actually talk, to actually communicate what the issues are, I want to try and do it because he's tired. I think what Robyn really means here is she is tired and needs help with Kody. I think we've all seen Robyn's little pep talks with Meri throughout the years, and she's continually planting false hope that Meri and Kody can work it out. And I am so incredibly angry that Robyn is dangling this carrot in front of Meri. I am sure Kody has told her there is no interest in reconciling with her at all. It has been 7 to 8 years since the marriage was a true marriage, and Meri has had to sit and watch Kody have a full relationship right in front of her while being starved emotionally. And if you've ever wondered how cruel Robyn can be, allow this conversation to enlighten you. She is a very selfish and unkind person. Meri says this has been really heavy on Kody. He doesn't smile, he doesn't joke, he doesn't laugh, at least not when she's around. It's just this heavy, heavy scowl. Robyn says, I think that's the only way we can get through this. If we pick up the baton for him, The three of us. I mean, wouldn't that be really cool, Meri?
Yeah, it would.
Just to get together and look at everyone in the room and feel like I trust them and they trust me. I don't think that's possible if you're going to be in the room, Robyn. No one should trust you. You are a snake. Robyn says, I feel like I have that trust with you. In her confessional, Meri says she has her back. Do I agree with everything Robyn does or thinks or says? No. You know, Kody and I have been in this place for quite a while, where I guess the word you would put to it would be estranged. And this has been going on for quite a few years. But I'm also in this place of working it out. You know, I think there is work that we have to do, but I think we could do it, you know, if we actually put the effort in. I am glad to know that Meri has left the situation, and I would guess part of her healing will be unpacking all of the head games and manipulations she was subjected to while in this quote-unquote family. I don't know if she is aware of how cruel Robyn and Kody really are, but I would bet her eyes have been opened a little bit, and she may see both of them very differently now that she's away from their abuse. I have such a hard time liking Meri, but I feel incredibly sad for her and the life she's led. She deserved better. That's it for this week, you guys. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. It does make my videos easier for others to find. My channel is going to turn 1 September 12th. That's right, 1 year old. I'd love to get to 10,000 subscribers before then. So if you haven't subscribed, please take a minute to do so. It makes a huge difference on my end, and it doesn't cost you a thing. Have a wonderful week. Until next time.